Yeah, but interestingly, it looks like James is going to start out on the right. We had last night, Riley started out on the right, and you made a really good call.
New Vulcan ball, game
partway
one.
Through game one, saying they should switch. And 1 point
0-0-2.
later, they switched, and it did turn the tide. That was a really good call by you. And right off the bat, Ignatowich with a nice little speed up, poked it. One of the shots he was having a little bit of trouble with last night. Good sign for the Newman Ignatowich team.
Something tells me, just based off last night's game, that Ignatowich and Newman don't want to stay in the point for too long.
Side out.
So every opportunity that Ignatowich is going to see,
0-1-1.
any type of opportunity, he's going to take it. He's not going to hold back.
Second serve.
And a lot of balls right now going to Tellez. You see Tellez
0-1-2.
on the near side on the right in that yellow shirt. Or lime. Maybe I'm colorblind. And as I mentioned, Ignatowich is going to go ahead and take every opportunity, even on a low percentage shot like that one.
1-1-2.
I think we see Newman and Ignatowich hit a lot of balls to the outside. Usually want to go to Tellez's backhand, and I think Dylan, known as a right side player for a long time with Jedediah Johnson, so didn't hit a lot of backhand dinks in that partnership. You want to test his backhand dink.
And that's what we saw in that matchup yesterday, but Dylan Frazier and Tellez on top of their round of 16 match.
Second serve. 2-1-2.
Ignatowich serving in that black uniform. Oh, that would have been a really amazing third shot, or not third shot drive, but just a drive. Wow, it's dipping really fast.
1-2-1.
Yeah.
Second serve.
Testing out the backhand just like you said.
1-2-2.
What a reset from Frazier.
Good duck there from Ignatowich. Well, his back looks just fine. I mean, that if your back was hurting, that duck to get out of the way of that one will really put a strain on it. No problem.
Second serve.
Oftentimes you can tell, Michelle, how well Ignatowich is feeling by how hard he hits his serve.
2-1-2.
If he starts to really feel it in his back, he tends to hit a pretty weak serve.
Yeah, Ignatowich arguably has one of the biggest serves here on tour. Right up there with Dekel Bar.
1-2-1. Point.
And, I don't know about all the other players, but this was the toughest time for me to play here in Mesa because the sun is setting and there's a lot of shadows and just a lot of brightness coming in the corner of your eye, but these players look like they're handling it just fine.
What a hands battle there.
Oh, and a missed dink from Newman. But what impressed me most, not so much the hand battle, but the reset from Dylan Frazier. My goodness. The rhythm of the game is just so exciting. It goes fast and slow and fast. the net and in
Second
for
serve.
Newman.
Why don't they just do that every time?
I know, right? If only they could just hit the top of the net every single time. Nice work from Frazier.
Too high on the backhand dink from Riley Newman.
Yeah, but that's off of the dink of Dylan Frazier with the two-way backhand.
Yeah.
Really controlling the point
4-2-2.
there and setting himself up. Lovely.
Side down.
One question I know is on the audience's mind. How does Pablo Tellez get to wear a yellow shirt? I know we're going to see that question online tonight.
Oh.
He is allowed to wear yellow. It is only up to the opponents to object if they want to object. You can wear whatever color you want.
Second serve.
Yeah, it's not technically an illegal color. It is an objectionable color. So it's whether the opponents want to object to it. And Riley and James
2-4-2.
don't care. That's long.
Point. Three, 4-2.
Good hands battles here early on.
Yeah, I like the exchanges. They're testing each other out right now. Early in game one, that's when you want to do that. Trying to find some combos or some spots on your opponent. Going to the backhand of Dylan Frazier is just not the place. That's where he likes to sit, is on the backhand side. So if you could find the right shoulder of Frazier, which is really tough because he moves well, that would be the spot to initiate at.
Pablo Tellez trying the Ernie there, but it wasn't high enough to do much with. That was too high.
Point.
Tellez doing a really good job at leaning forward and hitting over the top of that ball, and that puts Frazier and Tellez ahead by 3 in game one.
6-3-1. Second serve. Six, 3-2.
Unlucky for Frazier, but lucky for Newman. I like that both teams were really moving that dink around, trying to find some opportunities. That's the name of the game when you're up at the line. All 4 players doing a great job.
3-6-1.
Good defense there, but couldn't quite get the ball down on those resets. Just one opportunity after another to hit a high ball. Eventually they're going to put it away, and they did.
Newman right now, struggling to to predict right now. He doesn't really know where the ball's coming.
3,
It
6,
does
2.
come at him right now. Where yesterday he felt like very comfortable against Martinez Vic.
Point. 4-6-2.
4-6-2. Ignatowich and Newman hanging in there.
Point.
Riley's favorite play there. He loves to do backhand dink that forces and switch to a pancake forehand. Kind of his signature move there.
5-6-1.
And a great Newman presence here as his family and friends in the area come and join on grandstand court.
Tricky little
Yes.
Side out.
forehand roll from Frazier.
I like the pace of that shot.
Yeah.
And I like the disguise and the hold on that forehand side. Impressive from Frazier.
I think that was a little bit of confidence in the paddle he's using now with
6-5-1.
the
Point.
You saw Ignatowich, as he likes to do, try to slide right and counter backhand. Just jumped a little too soon, probably.
7-5-1. Point.
Nice drive there by Tellez.
Yeah.
Caught Newman leaning middle.
Yeah, and that's going to make Newman Ignatowich call a timeout here. Down by 2 in game 1. And
Timeout receivers,
both teams are
5-1.
playing really well right now. Good consistency, and we'll see if Newman Ignatowich could figure it out.
We've got our duper numbers up there. We've got Newman Ignatowich at 6.784. Frazier Tellez at 6.741.
Super
wow.
close.
One of the closest ones we've ever seen, Michelle,
Yeah.
with a win probability of 56% for Newman Ignatowich. Basically a coin flip match, and that's kind of how it's gone so far.
Yeah, it's pretty close, and it looks like Frazier and Tellez have a little bit more confidence going into this match. It looks like, and it's a good one. I like it. I like the matchup.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a little, perhaps a change in strategy by Newman Ignatowich. They seem to want to play the Frazier backhand. I haven't seen it give them much of an advantage at all.
I want to see Newman going cross court on the right side with Tellez. I want to see that. I want to see Ignatowich in front of Tellez. I want to also see that too. I like seeing different looks within a
15
game.
seconds.
Maybe
No timeouts.
they'll
One timeout.
do that later or now. We'll see.
They want to. It might just
Time
be they
in.
want to stay away from a
8-5-1.
cross-court backhand dink duel between Ignatowich and Frazier.
Oh, and
Point.
they did stay there after the timeout, but they were unsuccessful. Ignatowich not being aggressive there in the middle, which is what Newman was
9-5-1.
expecting.
Yeah, and they are keeping Riley on the right here.
Oh,
Point.
man.
Two missed
Game
blocks
point.
there by Riley. Gives a game point to Tellez and Frazier, trying to close this first game out.
10-5-1.
That's the
Second
sequence
serve.
I'd like to see for them. Is
Game point.
Riley hitting forehands
10-5-2.
cross court to the Tellez backhand.
Point. Game.
Oh, the
Timeout.
dink missed
Change.
wide from Ignatowich. Takes it for Tellez and Frazier. 11-5.
Especially looks like he's got a lot of energy.
Time in.
I asked
0-0-2.
Frazier earlier today, what is he most proud about right now? Just in life. He's just so proud of
Slide
pickleball.
out.
Ignatowich with a huge earning there.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That doesn't look like somebody whose back is bothering him.
And Frazier loves the pickleball community because it's so inclusive, and he's just proud to be a part of the sport that's inclusive and
0-0-1.
diverse.
And we see Newman going right side here.
Second serve. 0-0-2.
I expect to see Tellez and Frazier want to dink cross court to Ignatowich in this lineup.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe it doesn't even have to get there.
Well, it didn't on that point. That's true.
1-0-2.
And we just see right off the bat, you notice how Tellez had 2 backhand dinks. He almost always goes cross court on those. Both times he went down the line. So I think that's a sign that Frazier and Tellez want to dink with Ignatowich in this lineup.
I like that Riley just really hugged the middle there as the right side player. I love that he does that.
0-1-2.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm him, I want to dink forehand cross court to Tellez's backhand if I can get in that sequence. Right there. Yep.
ATP defended.
Nice.
Side out.
Tellez couldn't put much mustard on that backhand ATP.
1-0-1.
A surprise attack from Newman, but Frazier is on it with the forehand.
1-0-2. Point.
Nice. As we were talking about earlier, Ignatowich has one of the bigger serves here on the PPA Tour.
2-0-2.
Puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, he's serving hard. Oh,
Side
very
out.
aggressive. Maybe too aggressive.
Zero, 2-1.
Newman staying left, giving their opponents different looks.
0-2-2. Side out.
Good side out there on defense for Newman and Ignatowich, getting the ball back quickly.
2-0-1.
Nice pickup. Oh.
Second serve.
And you can see the impatience, right? I mean, they want to finish these points so quick.
2-0-2.
Riley will be more patient. If the ball does come to him, he needs to be playing more patient. It doesn't seem to be an injury going on with Newman. So if the ball's going to be played to him, he has to work the point.
Side out.
Great point there. Love it. Love the patience. Tellez. Frazier on top there for the side out. Ignatowich and Newman with the 3-point lead. It's pretty good comeback here. You know what I mean? They're just trying to figure things out.
0-3-1. Second serve.
Getting Dylan on the noggin. I don't think he was trying for that in any way. It looks like Tellez is questioning whether there's a targeting issue there. I don't think so. I mean, Michelle, I think the new targeting rule is designed for an intentional headshot.
Was it intentional?
Well, I think it's both intentional and sort of a, intent to hurt rather than just. Sometimes you do hit your opponent in the head or you get hit in the head, but it's kind of a soft shot. That one was medium soft by Ignatowich.
Such a weird rule. How do we know if it's intentional or not?
Well, most sports have an intentional foul. You got to leave it to the referee's discretion. Dealing with a little revenge.
Point.
I love that he waited for the opportunity. It wasn't forced.
1-3-2. Point.
Oh, big forehand poach there from Frazier. Wow.
Great athletic stance as he came up to the net to wait for the poach.
2-3-2.
Every time. Pablo Tellez off of the bounce, creating the combination for Frazier to put that ball away.
Seems like in those firefights, Michelle, so far, the Frazier and Tellez are just a little bit better at getting the ball down.
Yeah, I see Newman creating a lot of pop-ups right now. You know, when you have a pancake forehand, it's hard to get that paddle face to come over to the right or left side of your wrist, and might create a little bit of a pop-up on those quick exchanges. There we go, and that's the Newman we know. That's the ball that he wants. I love it. Lindsay Newman, you gotta play better, Riley.
We got Lindsay Newman sitting in front of us in the front row.
I love it.
Coaching up her brother.
I love that.
3-4-1. Point.
Little clash there from Tellez and Frazier creating the pop-up.
That ties things up here in game 2. Close one.
4-4-1. Second serve. 4-4-2.
What a point.
Pablo Tellez getting a little antsy, looking for the Ernie. And that gives the space for Riley Newman to put it right through that hole.
5-4-2. Side out.
Just wide?
Yeah, just wide. But a 1-point lead on the
4-5-1.
side out. Pablo Tellez looking for the Ernie again, this time successful, going behind Newman on the left side.
Tellez, one of the best at this, recognizing the Ernie opportunity and then executing it. Him or Tyler Loon would be my top two.
Is it a coincidence that they're both lefties and both the best at hitting those Ernies?
I think it actually gives them an advantage because the right-handed player opposite them is not as used to the look.
Martin Emmerich also has an amazing Ernie.
Side out.
Another lefty?
Yeah, another lefty, believe it or not. Riley Newman sends Ignatowich to the left side on the side out. Newman pinching middle hard on the right side. That really closes the things up for Pablo Tellez now that he's getting the majority of the shots on the dink rally.
6-5-1.
Newman baiting Tellez to go all the way over to the right side on the dink so he could force the shot over to him.
Point.
I like that pattern. I like that pattern. I like if Ignatowich's back can stand it. I like Newman on the right hitting forehand dinks to Tellez's backhand. He's been pushing him back a little bit.
Second serve.
Newman a little too aggressive.
He knows it. He knows it.
Not there.
He got upset with himself there. He's allowed to make a mistake every once in a while.
7-5-2.
Of course.
But ahead by 2, Ignatowich. A little high on that third shot.
Yeah, maybe more than a little.
5-7-1.
What a reset from Tellez.
Point.
Followed by a nice flick on the backhand side.
Newman kicking himself. He had a forehand he wanted.
6-7-1.
Put those away. Great shot by Tellez to keep the point going.
The look from Tellez on the Ernie. Let's tie
Newman
things
frustrated.
up.
He's going to call it.
Timeout receiver, 7-7-1.
7-7.
Yeah, I mean, Ignatowich and Newman trying to find things against this team. Tellez and Frazier, it's not an easy task, but
7-7-1.
7-7-1.
there's a pattern we wanted to see. Oh,
Point.
Frazier accidentally misses, but it was a good miss as they're able to score another
8-7-1.
point even after the timeout. Still gaining the momentum here in game 2. A winner lob here on grandstand court over 2 towers.
Yeah, it froze Ignatowich. Normally you'd think that's his ball. Newman sort of looked like he was going to jump and hit it, and I think it froze Ignatowich. Wow. And then Newman, you know, when he sort of did a half pump fake on the jump, he couldn't recover and get all the way back. Wow.
Second serve.
He is missing. It's an important point here. You don't want to let your opponent get
9-7-2.
a match point.
cut from Tellez goes into the net for the side out. Incredible play.
Nice counter for Ignatowich. It's a big time shot on a big time point.
7-9-1.
Ignatowich and Newman have to gain some momentum here.
Point.
Not sure what Tellez was trying to do. He sort of hesitated.
8-9-1.
Oh, some risky.
One.
Back at 9-9-1.
The lob, and Tellez is going to take it.
Second serve.
But you know what? I was going to mention that Newman has been playing so smart throughout this game too. He hasn't been forcing it. He needs to stay in that rally. He needs to stay in that rally, wait for the counter.
Just really hard to lob a lefty-righty combination with those two forehands down the middle.
Tellez again with the Ernie. He sees it well before Newman even hits the ball. Jumps that corner, takes the side out. Things are all tied up here. Game 2 is so exciting.
Yeah, we got some good twists and turns on this one, Michelle. Frazier and Tellez take a 9-7 lead, but Newman and Ignatowich get the ball back. 2 quick points, but they can't convert anymore.
Second serve.
Whenever Newman is able to hit that forehand on that pancake side, that pumps him up.
Yeah.
This is not over. He wants to take this to game 3.
9-9-2.
Really, really big point right here. Point of the match.
Ignatowich is the one who pulls the trigger. Dylan Frazier sitting on it. And now Tellez and Frazier with a match point. A spot to go to the semifinals.
10-9-2. Side out.
Match point saved. Newman and Ignatowich, they need to gain momentum here.
9-10-1.
9-10, very important to get at least 1 point on this side out. Oh!
Newman has been wanting to get them back on the lob, and he does it. Ties things up here in game 2.
10-10-1.
He just had a little bit more error on that one. That's what the difference was. A little bit higher. Got it over Tellez. Forced the error in the overhead. That's a big point. Oh.
a spot. Tellez gets on Newman. The left shoulder.
Yeah, that was a heck of a shot right there.
And he does it at such a good time when he catches Newman out of position.
Riley's one of the best players out there at letting out balls go, and he couldn't get out of the way of that one.
Dylan Frazier is the one that pulls the trigger and is ahead on that one for the side out. A very patient point at a very crucial time in this match, Jim.
Probably the longest dink sequence we had. I thought Riley had a ball he could handle there, but stretched him out just enough where he couldn't get on top of it. Sailed it long, but they did get 1 point out of that side out. Really important. Force your opponents now to score 2 to win.
Dylan Frazier coming in for the 5th and 7th shot.
That's Dylan Frazier with the new paddle. He doesn't do that before.
11-10-1.
Oh boy.
Second serve.
Riley Newman, I am very shocked and surprised that he took the risk and sped up that ball into Dylan Frazier, but he does it, and you can see there on the sideline, Feds, Dax Rudu, Dave Weinbach, Georgia Johnson watching this exciting match.
Oh, that's long. And
Point game match.
Tellez is full of excitement, lets out a yeah! Dylan Frazier, Pablo Tellez take it in straight games, and they're moving on to the semifinals.